The crossbow season is fast approaching. It's time to get all of our gear in order. Crossbow accessories, that's this episode of Death by Bunjie.
Death by Bunjie.
By the time you see this video, I will probably already be on my way to Maryland to start the early crossbow season, and I'm very excited about that, and it's time to start getting all my gear in order. And I thought I would go through and make a video of all the types of gear that I take with me. This is not stuff that I'll take into the field. This is not stuff that I will necessarily have in my backpack, but it's stuff that I will have in my car, here at the house when I'm hunting down the woods. I really like the see-through boxes so I can see what's in each one of the boxes. These stack real nice. They fit right behind the seats in the car so I can tuck them up under there, retrieve them when I need them. The first thing in the box here is the Luminox Puller. This is a little wrench with different attachments, different insets that you can put in here, and different inserts. And you can use this wrench to pull the Luminox and unlight that Luminox. All my arrows, even my target arrows, have Luminox on them. That way all my target arrows or my hunting arrows, they're all the same weight. I only use one size arrow, one weight arrow, and I want them all to be as close as possible. I weigh them all and everything. So the Luminox Puller is important because that way I can pull the Luminox and turn off those Luminox. I have a little baggie here. It's real handy. And it came open. I don't know why it's open, but we'll close it up here. But I have a screwdriver in there, some Allen wrenches. I have both metric and standard Allen wrenches. A little wrench right here. That wrench is looks like a 3/8. Apparently that goes on something with that crossbow, and that's the reason I've got it there, just in case I need it. There's a little multi-tool in here that has a pair of pliers on it and all that other good stuff. And then there is a cleaning strip in there. These are always good if you're, that's to clean the lens on the scope if I wanted to do that. So I also have that. Little baggie full of tools, can't beat that. Have something like that handy all the time. Little tackle box, I put all my broadheads in here. I have some of the small game broadheads in here. I have all my field points in here, and there are some used broadheads in here as well, of the exact broadheads. I only use the Excalibur stuff. I'm one of those guys that just recommends you use what the manufacturer recommends. You stick with that, you won't be dissatisfied. All my broadheads are in here. I do need to get a couple extra packages for the year as we get going here. I've got a few left that are unused. I like to start each season with new broadheads. I know broadheads are expensive. There is nothing about hunting that is cheap, but broadheads are an important part of the hunting process, and it's important to have good broadheads in my opinion. I also have some of the all-purpose crossbow oil here from Excalibur. I take that with me as well. Before I go hunting, I will probably put a little bit of this on each one of the Allen heads to keep them from rusting. Probably go through, and I'm going to take these Allen wrenches and go through, and I am going to tighten every bolt everywhere on that crossbow, make sure it's nice and snug. I'm going to use a little bit of this oil on the trigger mechanism as well to get it spiffed up before we start that hunting season. Probably once during the hunting season, I'll go back through again with the wrenches, go back through again with the oil at some point during the hunting season as well. Important to do that. This is my string changing thing here. I can put this, you put this on the limbs of the crossbow, you're going to pull it back and cock it, and then you can take the string off and put the new string on. I take this with me. I have this with me all the time in this little box, and the reason for that is with a recurve crossbow, I have on occasion changed the string while on a hunting trip. It does happen. It is something that you want to be able to do if the reason for that presents itself. You want to be able to do that. So the string changer, very important thing to have. Scales. I have my electronic scales. These are meant for weighing powder when you're reloading and all that good stuff. I use it for weighing my arrows and weighing my broadheads so that I know how many grains my broadheads are, so I know how many grains my arrows are. What I try to do is group my arrows, and I try to get 4 arrows that are within just a couple of grains that are real close to each other. I weigh the broadheads and group those, then I weigh the arrows and group those. There's always slight differences in weight, but then I put them together and try and get the entire package that's pretty close. That way I know when I'm sighted in, hopefully it'll stay sighted in, it'll stay accurate. This little guy I made, this is my arrow puller from back in the day. I just took a block of wood and put a screw in it. the flat knock arrows like I use from Excalibur, they have a screw-in attachment. You can screw this in and then pull the arrow out of the target. It's meant for pulling the arrow out of the target. Problem with that is it just pulls the knock out. It doesn't pull the arrow out. So I switched over to the Luminox, and I just pull the arrows by hand. I don't use that, but it's neat to have, and a cute little thing. I need it, so I keep it in there. Old string container. That's for that's the package for the string that is currently on Bunjie. My arrow spinner, you got to have one of these, the arrow inspector. I could put this together, spin my arrows, make sure that they're still straight. You never know, you get down here, take a bad shot, wondering if the arrow was defective, got ruined in the process of traveling. I don't know. Maybe you want to spin your arrow while you're there. I leave it all in here. It doesn't take up too much space to take it, leave it right in this box, and I just take the whole box with me. Broadheads and the broadhead wrench, got to have those with you. Old strings. In case my current string goes bad on me, I can replace and put on one of these strings. If you have a compound crossbow, you probably can't do that. The manual for the Verisone scope, in case I have questions while I'm down there, I can go look at that. Another cocking device, rope cocker. I have a couple of these. One of them stays on the crossbow until I cock the crossbow, and I put that in my pocket. That way I have it on me all the time. And then when I uncock the crossbow at the end of the day, I leave it on the crossbow. So it's always on the crossbow, and right now it's sitting in there in the case on the crossbow. I have another one of these that I carry in my backpack all the time in case something happens to the other one. And then lastly, I've got a third one that I just leave in this box, so I always have access to a third one if need be. These are string suppressors. I took those off because it just made the crossbow louder. I don't know what the deal was with that. I didn't really like that. And a pen. You never know when you got to write stuff down, so that's always good to have. I do have a little container crazy glue in case I'm on the road and I've got to glue something. You never know. You might want a container of that. My rail lube in case I get out there in bad weather or something or whatever, for whatever reason I need to go lube the crossbow rail, I will apply that. And of course string wax, got to have that with me too in case something happens and I want to do that. That's it for box number one. I have my binoculars here. I use a set of binoculars I bought when I was out hunting in Arizona with my buddy Scott. Didn't have a lot of luck, but I think if I'm going to go out west again, I'll probably get a guide, a professional to take me out on javelina, and then we probably won't have that kind of trouble. Nevertheless, these are Vortex Diamondbacks. I love these little binoculars. I bought them, they're 8x42s. I bought them while we were out there, thinking that, you know, what am I going to use them for back in Pennsylvania? But I've used these a lot. I really enjoy them. Good set of binoculars, and you know, you can spend $1 million on binoculars, but this is a good set that has served me well. I really like what it has done. My flashlight, Utilitech. I don't know what to tell you other than the brand name of this flashlight, but this is the most powerful flashlight that I have ever had. It's only 3 bulbs, 3 LEDs, but wow, is this thing powerful. In fact, this is so powerful that I don't use it on the highest setting. I use it on the medium setting when I'm tracking, looking for blood. On the highest setting, it's like a spotlight. Like I can shine through the woods and actually see if there's a deer body laying up there. Very important tool in tracking deer, especially in Maryland where I'm not familiar with the lay of the land. The other container, I have another one of these little containers, just so we've got lots of good stuff here. Other stuff that I'll be taking with me, of course, this will stay in the car. If I have to quarter out a deer, I have a bag full in the Ziploc bag, so I know what's in there, but I have all of these good little things. These are big game quarter bags from Hideaway. These were a gift to me from my nephew Nick, who went with me to Maryland last year. Got a lot of other stuff going on this year. This was a present from him. These are really nice. What you can use these bags for, they're breathable, but they will contain the quarter. If I have to quarter up that deer on my own, there's processors down there, but early in the season they may not be open. So if I have to quarter up a deer and bring it back, I would quarter it up and throw it right in these bags and be able to take that deer home with me, and everybody would be happy. So that little bag of goodies will stay in there. We'll take that with us. If I have to skid a deer, I have a skidding harness, right? This is a deer pulling harness. The blaze orange, real nice. Put that on you so that people can see that it's a human being and see some fluorescent orange while you're dragging a deer. There's a nice short rope on here. That rope needs to be longer to hook it on a deer, but you could basically hook this on the deer's antlers and drag the deer through the woods, or hook it around the deer's neck and drag the deer through the woods if you have to skid it. I won't use that in Maryland because it's suburban hunting. We're not out in the middle of the state game lands or anything like that. But nevertheless, it's nice to have, and it doesn't take up much room. I leave it right in my little bin that goes with me. A lantern. There we go. Battery powered lantern, so I don't have to monkey around with fuel or anything like that. It's a nice little lantern, LED, so you can adjust the brightness of it. And of course you'll turn it all the way on because it's just, even all the way on, it's not all that bright. Takes D batteries, probably should replace those before I go. I will look into doing that. One of the things I do with lanterns is I wrap aluminum foil neatly around it here, and I have it all taped on good so it's nice and protected. But I put aluminum foil on half of the lantern so that it's not shining in my eyes. I can put this lantern now here. We're not wasting light over here. In fact, we're reflecting all of the light this way. This is one of the things we did when we were catfishing. That's where I learned how to do that. We used to do that with the old Coleman lanterns. But this is a nice little handy thing. If I have to quarter up a deer, gut a deer in the dark, a little headlamp, I'll show you one of those down the road here. Those go well, but this is awesome for helping you work on a deer in the dark. Those are just a quick look at some of the items that you might want to have if you're getting into crossbow hunting, if you're going on a trip crossbow hunting, or if you are just going to be hunting on your own property. These are some of the items that you might want to have available, have them around and have them handy so that you can make crossbow hunting all that much more successful. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe for future videos on crossbows, on enjoying the outdoors, food plots and all that good stuff. Like the Facebook page for updates on Death by Bunjie there as well. And until next time, all hail Bunjie!